In this video I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I think is holding back a lot of people from efficiently learning new skills or removing problems from their playing. This video is coming out of YouTube comments and questions on social media, but it's of course also coming out of my experience as a teacher, and certainly also as a student and as somebody who practices and tries to teach himself stuff. Because the thing is that when we're trying to work towards some sort of goal, then we of course need to measure how we're progressing, and we need to make sure that we're actually practicing something that is aiming towards that goal. And we have to be really careful with that. So the first thing you want to do if you want to change something in your playing, or if you want to achieve a new skill, is that you have to analyze the skill or the problem so that you know exactly what it is you want to change. If you don't know exactly what it is you want to change, then probably you're not going to get there really easily, because you need to work directly towards something to get there. It's going to be similar as if you're trying to find the way in a city. If you don't know where you're going, then you might suddenly realize that you're there, but you can be pretty sure that you probably won't get there, and if you get there, it's going to be in a very inefficient way. So similarly, if you're trying to learn something, be really specific about what it is you want to learn, and then try to plan exercise towards that so that you can tell that you're actually improving on what it is you want to learn. And I think that's something that's missing a lot for a lot of people, and there's almost a tradition for it in jazz anyway, and also probably in playing instruments in general, because it's difficult to explain, it's vague, technique is hard to put into words or in text. So it's a common thing that we all fall into, that we think, okay, I want to work on this, and then you go in some sort of direction, and maybe you're getting better, but it's hard to really tell. And usually that's because you're not really specific about what it is you want to learn, and therefore you choose some exercises that are not really helping what it is that you want to get better at. And the biggest tell you have this: if you're practicing towards something and you're not doing something that's close to the thing you want to do, then you're probably doing something wrong. I think a very common example would be transcribing. So I think everybody wants to play better lines when they're soloing. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to work on my lines in my solos, and then you start transcribing other people's solos. You take solos that you really like and you work out what they're playing and you write it down. But maybe that doesn't really help you play better lines, because that's not going to be enough. I mean, it's in there, but it's in a very superficial way, and you need to sort of translate it into your playing. So you need to take those lines and in some form or other put them into your own playing. You need to maybe work with the melodic concepts that they're working with, or maybe you want to take them out as licks and work on them and try to get them into your playing. There are several ways to do this, but just transcribing is not going to be enough. Another one would be if you're trying to get a better overview of the fretboard. So I think most people can learn to play 7 positions of a major scale from sort of a visual point of view, and then they know all the scales, and they can probably play them in all keys because maybe they know the root. But that doesn't mean you have a good overview of the fretboard, because everything is in these sort of visual things that don't connect with any kind of other information. So you might want to connect it to your scales. You need to know what is the degree in each scale, where are the arpeggios, all these kind of things. You need to work on that too. And if you're not aware that that is what fretboard overview is, then maybe you won't really have it until you figure out, like, okay, I can actually play all the notes and I can play all the scales, but that in itself is not going to be enough. And maybe you want to practice something else than just your scales as visual patterns to get there. So that's sort of the point of what I'm trying to get across here, is that if you want to learn something, look carefully, really think about what it is you want to learn, and then try and see if you can figure out how to practice towards it, because that way you get there more efficiently. So for my fretboard thing, probably you want to practice stuff that's about finding arpeggios, and if you know the notes of an arpeggio, try and play them everywhere, or stuff. There can be all sorts of stuff that you can do, practicing in different patterns, not only scales, or there are lots of stuff you can do, and the same with the transcribing example. I mean, there are a ton of examples that we can go over for this, but it's a very common thing that people don't really understand what it is that they want to fix or what they want to achieve, and therefore they can't really practice towards it, and that's really frustrating. And I think anybody who played an instrument for any amount of time will run into this. We all did it probably, and it probably also goes along with the thing, the saying that an expert is somebody who made all possible mistakes in a small area. And I think that's what this video is really about. I can't really solve any problems, which you might find frustrating if you've been watching until now, expecting that I would solve all problems in your playing. But yeah, that's how that goes. The only thing I can tell you is that if you want to learn something, be sure that you figure out exactly what it is you want to learn, because that's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to help you make a better set of exercises towards learning that goal. So that's it for this vlog. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this, with your experiences. I'm also probably gonna once in a while answer questions on my Facebook page, and I'm also thinking about maybe doing more like a question and answer type video once in a while. So questions are always welcome. I think especially on my Facebook page it's maybe a good place to do it, but also here on this video. And for the rest, there's a new lesson on Thursday, and thank you for watching.